Hi, everyone. So, Chris and I are back, and today we are going to talk to you about Dreamforce because by the time you watch this video, it's been over a week since it's occurred, and this year was kind of different. We had that virtual Dreamforce, we had in person. Chris here got to actually go in person. I'm very curious to hear about your experience, and I know some of our viewers are. So, why don't you just start telling us how it went?
Sure. And you got invited too. It just didn't work out travel wise, but
Mhm.
definitely missed you there. Would have been helpful to have extra sets of hands, been able to make some videos there. Um, but we did our best
Yeah.
and it was an experience. It wasn't the Dreamforce that we're used to,
Yeah.
where the streets of San Francisco are taken over with Trailblazer hoodies. Um, the coffee shops are closed, the locals are angry.
You're right.
Um, but
Locals
it
were like,
was,
phew,
yeah,
Dreamforce, we want this year.
yeah. But it was great. Salesforce was really focused on the safety aspect of the event. So obviously that's one reason the numbers were kept low. But it
Mhm.
was also like I took 6 COVID tests. I took 2 before I went that had to be mailed in same day. I took 1 every day that I was there. There were rapid tests for if the lab was too slow processing the initial results. Um, so it was great to be able to like be around people again and also not have to stress. Like we
Yeah.
know that every one of us has passed enough COVID tests that we're in the clear. I still did have my mask on. It
Okay.
was like I noticed a lot of people didn't, and I was like, I guess we're all safe. Like, should be able to take this off, but it still felt a little bit weird to be
Be
around that
surrounded by a
many
few
people.
thousand. Yeah. People and
Yeah,
be like, well,
yeah.
yeah. Especially those rapid
Um,
tests. They're not always right.
yeah. So, but all in all, it was great. It was just that little stretch in front of Moscone or on Howard Street in between Moscone
Mm.
North and South, just by the park there, as opposed to, taking over all the convention center halls and having that street open.
Yeah.
So you didn't really get that sense in years past where you're like, man, I haven't seen everything yet. I've been here for 3 days and I still haven't seen it all. It was like in a morning or an afternoon, you could make it up and down the full
Hmm.
stretch and see everything. But they kept it fresh with like all of the sessions they were doing. A lot of them simultaneously broadcast on Salesforce Plus, which we'll talk about. Their big push for
Hmm.
that this year. And there was the return of something from last year, the Dreamforce to You messaging. Um,
Ah.
Mark Benioff did say, we're doing Dreamforce to You again. We did 100,000 Dreamforces last year. And that's the personalized Dreamforce that Salesforce will put together for companies or organizations that wanted to attend but couldn't, or just want to like don't want to sift through all the sessions to find the right ones for them, but want sort of a more curated experience.
Hmm.
So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to us, reach out to your Salesforce AE. Either way, we are happy to facilitate. That's a good way to get a lot of the relevant content without having to, spend 3 days in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Um, I think the big messaging, the big takeaway from the keynote and a lot of the sessions this year was the focus on digital headquarters and the
Mm.
fact that, the pandemic moved so many people remote and the tools necessary to keep those teams collaborate. Yeah, this is a good example.
As you can see, we're
We
still
have
in our
never
home.
filmed this show in the same room. So
Yep.
and obviously that ties in with Salesforce's acquisition of Slack. Slack is going to be one of the major tools organizations lean on moving forward. Um, and I want to get the number right. I think it was 20,000, but I think Mark Benioff had said that Salesforce onboarded 20,000 people in the last year without ever setting foot inside a headquarters. So that's impressive. I know it's something
That
that
is.
we've had experience with over the last year and a half too. So just sort of the radical changes in the workplace and how you can use technology to smooth out some of those wrinkles.
Right. And what was interesting is I noticed that you being in person had different sessions available. than those available online, which I thought was cool because obviously some are going to be the same, but I noticed there was a difference. So that's nice because I was, concerned that us at home, we'd be watching, something on the screen and you would be there in person also watching that thing on the screen. And I was like, well, that's not fun. But a lot of your sessions, were like, nope, these are for in person. We have a few crossover, So I thought that was great that they did that because I was a little concerned that you'd just be sitting in a room, just like watching the same thing as at home.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like there were two sort of main stages. There was like the keynote stage, which was all fancy as usual. And there was another big stage off to the side with some decorations. And then there were all these little spin-off, almost like campfire tents. One was like the Trailblazer Community Campfire. One was, I don't remember the names. They were adorable and themed with the national park, branding. And those all had sort of little sessions that were super interesting. The only thing that I feel like I wish was available was I didn't know which sessions would be online and which wouldn't. So I got lucky in that I went to a lot of those smaller sort of campfire sessions because it seems like those were the ones that didn't make it online. And I probably should have known because the keynote stage had like the big boom camera that like swings around. It had like cameras on both sides, like a sitcom. So when you walked through, you'd have to duck because the guy would be like swinging the camera over your head. And the little booths obviously didn't have that. So I should have known, like, hey, this is not being recorded by anybody. But a lot of those little ones were super interesting and really like role specific. So really like for me in marketing, there were sessions on like, here's how the new cookie law is going to affect tech's ability to read open rates. Here's the metrics you should look at besides open rate on your email campaigns. Or like, here's how this customer success department is using Slack, integrating with Salesforce and tying it all together. And those were like super interesting, super targeted. And I hope that at some point they exist on Salesforce Plus, maybe not a pure broadcast of Dreamforce, but just like here's that same person giving that presentation. You just won't see me sitting in the front row. Like,
right. Yeah. You're like, wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Yep. And I imagine you got to see the Foo Fighters dance with some of the characters. No Metallica, but
well, Metallica did perform during the keynote, but it was from Griffith Observatory and probably pre-recorded because it looked like it was about sunset time, and that was happening at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, the light doesn't look like that in LA right now.
You're like,
Yeah. Was this last night? Could I have gone to this too?
Right? Missed it.
Yeah. But Dave Grohl was awesome. He opened up, I imagine it's probably a little different experience playing for 5,000 people out in the open. And I imagine you could hear it from all around.
Yeah.
But he definitely opened up by saying like, I'm going to play for 5 hours, and then did not, and nobody expected him to, but it was a good laugh on the day.
The only time I've ever seen him in concert, I've seen him several times, is I feel like he loves to show up and surprise people, like at other concerts. Like he goes to a bunch of other concerts and he plays like a song or two with the band. I've seen him do that so many times, but I've actually never seen the Foo Fighters. Just him occasionally hopping around, singing a song with somebody else. Don't know why, but maybe that's just my fate.
I feel like he plays every instrument well, and he's like used to being in other people's bands, and so he just like loves to hop around and be like, I could play. I don't think he's out there cutting brake lines on drummers' cars or anything, trying to be like, now I'll have a spot.
No, he's too cool for that. But yeah, he just always seems down, and that's every time I see him. So, but honestly, though, that wouldn't surprise me if he was like, "We're gonna play for 5 hours," just because they just have so much music that low key wouldn't have surprised me. Actually, I would have been like, "Oh, this guy's serious."
But it was fun to see Einstein and Ruth going as hard as they did and shaking and sweating in their little costumes.
Yeah. But overall, it sounds like you had a really fun, great experience being
Yeah.
in person, even though it wasn't the same. It was still an experience.
Yeah. And I think one of the highlights that'll be, a personal highlight for me that would not be something that everybody could experience was I got to meet one of my coworkers face to face for the first time. Helena, who lives in San Francisco, also got invited to Dreamforce, and I've only ever seen her in a little, box on our meetings. And so it was awesome to finally get to see her. We took some pictures together. I'll
wait,
probably do.
right there. I love those pictures. They're so great.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of little photo opportunities, lots of swag. I got a
Speaking of
whole
which, you should show
got a
everyone
whole
all your swag.
bag of it
We
right
got
here.
a tote full.
A tote full. I got this new Trailblazer hoodie.
I don't
That's
even
just
have
like the
my shirt yet, and you got a new hoodie and a bunch of other things. And I got a shirt like months ago, and it still hasn't come. Come on, Salesforce, where's my shirt?
yeah. We got a notebook. We got that's my old Trailblazer hoodie.
Oh, who
Pretend I
needs
didn't
that
store
anymore?
that in there. Yeah. Well, that one has the Einstein patch. This one just has the
Oh,
trailhead patch, but no extra
so now we need to
bonus
collect your
branding.
patches so you can
Yeah.
like you're
End
like
up with like a
a
full,
scout.
yeah, like a
Oh yeah, with
Webelos
the
or like the
sash.
sash, and like here's my roller skating badge, and here's my Service Cloud badge. I got this Ruth plushie.
Gonna go hang out with your Astro plushie now.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, this little portable charger.
Ooh.
It's, USB-C and USB-A,
Oh, I don't
B,
know. See? Z.
Z. This marketing cloud hoodie with
The new
Brandy
character.
the Fox, new character. She's on her little Vespa.
I
Let's
relate to
see.
Brandy.
Super soft Dreamforce shirt. And it's got
Man,
some
you will
some
just have a shirt
flashiness.
for every day of the week now in
Yeah.
Salesforce.
Let's see. A water bottle. It says,
Gotta stay hydrated.
Dreamforce on it. I brought my own water bottle,
Um,
and this one I was like, I have to clean it before I can
yeah.
use it because I'm paranoid like that. So I'll leave it in the box for now and use it later. And then let's see, we got some of these signs, which I feel like I've always seen these in the past and thought like, oh, they're great for, if you need to like show everyone raise your hand if you've used this feature in the last whatever. I always thought like, oh, those are great. But what they really came in handy for was fanning yourself when it was hot. It was like 95 degrees the first day at
In San
Dreamforce.
Francisco.
Yeah. There were wardrobe changes. I would leave at lunch and be like, okay, I'm coming back in shorts and a t-shirt this time. Got some mints.
Gotta stay fresh.
Of course. And then I
It's
think
like Mary Poppins bag. It just doesn't end.
yeah.
You're gonna pull out a small animal. I'm just
And
waiting
then the
for it.
rest is just like a lot of stickers. Well, that's two of the same sticker. That's not exciting.
Looked like very holographic though.
Yeah, it was holographic. And let's see. Little Astro.
Always good.
I think that is it, except for receipts and whatnot that pile up at the bottom of bags no matter what you do.
But still very exciting.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool to finally be back in person. Hopefully next year they can broaden the invite list a little bit or go back to the old ways. I've never seen so many golden hoodies at one time. And I didn't see any customers. So normally you've got your little Dreamforce badge. I probably should have kept that in there. But they have, recycling for your Dreamforce badges at the end, which is great because it's an easy way to get rid of them. They're like a rubbery plastic, so the kind of thing that I think you're probably not sure if you can recycle on your own. So it's nice that they do it. But yeah, usually, so at the bottom of the Dreamforce badge, there's a little color coded strip that's like blue and says Salesforce. So, they're an employee, or like it's orange and says Trailblazer, or gold and says MVP. And normally there's a color for like partners, vendors, and customers. And I didn't see a single customer one. So it was really like the crowd was really heavy on MVPs and Trailblazers. I saw more gold hoodies in one spot than I've ever seen in my life. I saw more get given away. So the quest continues to get some for us.
Right? It's like Oprah, you get a gold hoodie, you get a gold hoodie, you get a gold hoodie, except for you just got a black one. But then you got like a ton of t-shirts and everything else in between. So
yeah.
Next year.
And the reduced size did mean that like there weren't any big sponsored events. There weren't the typical, there's 8 different happy hours thrown by 8 different app exchange vendors to go to. And so while that was, different, it was kind of cool that all of the events were sort of organic networking events as opposed to prospecting events where you're kind of being like shuffled and scanned, and you're going to get 10 emails in the next week that are like, hey, you attended our happy hour, please watch this demo now. Instead, it was just like, hey, we're all going out here afterwards, do you want to join? And that was great. The second day was supposed to be a lot cooler. It might have been the second or third day. It was supposed to be a lot cooler. It wasn't that much cooler, but after the day ended, a few of us were like, oh, let's head out to the Golden Gate Bridge and see if we can get like a good view of the Golden Gate Bridge, because you can't really see it from where you are at Dreamforce. As the car got closer and closer, I was like, oh, this is great. We're going to get there 30 minutes before sunset, and we'll have the sun setting behind the bridge. We'll have some great photos.
Beautiful.
The closer we got, the foggier it became. And this is the result. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. You can see the pier right there, and then you can't see anything more than 10 feet into the water. So I would recommend for folks attending Dreamforce in years future, maybe make that a lunch trip, maybe make that like a travel day. When you arrive, head there first, because midday definitely seems like the time to see it, because I assume the fog is just as bad in the morning as in the evening.
Yeah, it is.
But I did see it from the plane on the way out, so didn't miss it completely.
I lived up there, so I've had my plenty of chances to see it, drive on it. Kind of sad.
I'm always impressed by the Bay Bridge. I'm like, the Bay Bridge is longer. It has an island in the middle called Treasure Island. I grew up in the East Bay, and I always assumed that like someday as an adult I would go to Treasure Island and find the treasure. And I suspect that it doesn't actually exist. But why would you call it that if there's not treasure there?
Oh no, it's the experience you have. That's the treasure.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting, and it sounds like you made some new friends. I mean, MK partner friends as well as other friends.
Yeah. That's kind of what about you? How was your Dreamforce virtual experience? The face.
This year their slogan, because I was surprised when you said Dreamforce to you, because I hadn't heard that slogan at all this time around. This year it was like phrased as like Dreamforce Everywhere, right? Because of San Francisco, New York, Paris, London, all these places. Okay, yeah, Dreamforce everywhere but my house. So my experience virtually, I went to go log on day of. This year they're supposed to be using your Trailblazer profile information, and I had registered for this event when you could. I even double registered just to make sure, basically, double.
You were invited.
I was invited.
They know who you are.
They do. They know me. And yet when I went to go log on, I kept getting this questionnaire box asking for like demographics, including my email. So I go to fill it in, go to register, and it'd be like, oh, an email already exists for this user, can't use. And so basically I just kept having this issue. I wasn't the only one. There was other Trailblazers out there who were having the same issue. I saw it on Twitter as well as like the community posts. So I wasn't the only one having this issue. A few people recommended some solutions. They didn't work for me. I I didn't think about clearing up my cookies. I could have tried that, but I did try to go incognito and a few other things. The incognito window did work for some people. So if people are having issues like me and you can't watch Dreamforce videos, yeah, maybe try incognito. Did not work for me, but like I said, maybe I just need to clear my cookies. But yeah, it's been over a week and I have not been able to watch a single video besides what's been posted on Twitter. So it's been a lot of like bits and pieces. I was able to see all the sessions though before Salesforce Plus kicked off. So I had, my calendar full of all these events. And no, I've not gotten to watch a single one.
Oh.
So I wish Salesforce would have kicked off Salesforce Plus at a different, smaller event, because I get it. They want to, they want to bring this brand new platform out and they want to show it off. Dreamforce is their biggest time of the year to show it off, but I feel like they should have done something smaller first as like a beta test run and then been like, here you guys go. Because like I said, I wasn't the only person. And I know a lot of people also on day one were also having issues as separate issues from mine, but I know that also existed as well. So yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah.
But at least I still get Disney Plus.
Yeah. So that's a good segue. Salesforce Plus is, their virtual platform for, let's say, infotainment.
Yeah.
It's like, it's branding, it's marketing, but it's also content that's beneficial to trailblazers, executives, sort of runs the gamut from inspirational stories to in-depth how-tos.
It's like
And
YouTube,
yeah,
basically. They'll
like
probably stop
YouTube.
posting on there. They'll probably start taking stuff off.
Yeah. And we knew that we knew Salesforce Plus was coming because we had our Salesforce Plus Dreamforce session on there. What I didn't know going in and learned from Sarah Franklin and the marketing side there, really cool to see Sarah Franklin in person, by the way. She's a real person. She doesn't just exist on the screens and at virtual events. Is that Salesforce Plus moving forward, they have a real vision of like building it out into a, like a Disney Plus or a Hulu Plus. Like they want it to be a destination for people to consume media as opposed to hey, there's Dreamforce going on. If you can't be there, here's these things. So they're bringing in real production companies. We got sneak peeks of some of the shows that are coming out in fall and winter. I auditioned for a show that's, I don't know when it's coming out, but should have more information eventually. So that'll be cool.
You didn't just audition.
I'm already.
You were low-key told to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I had to send in like my audition video and said like, hey, and they'll use that video presumably like in the little intros of the people, and I'll be really embarrassed because you'll see me sitting outside talking to my phone. All my neighbors going like, why does this guy keep shouting about Salesforce at his phone? But since you didn't get a chance to see it, well, there we go. This is Salesforce Plus as it exists right now, and you can catch up on all the stuff you missed at Dreamforce. And they have the Dreamforce episodes and sessions broken out by role. So if you head over to admin, you can see all of the episodes, and some of these were shot ahead of time. Some of these were shot live at Dreamforce. And some of these contain people we recognize, like myself and Matt Kaufman.
It's like, where's Waldo? But where's Chris?
Yeah. I had definitely provided a better thumbnail that wasn't a picture of me, but that's the one they went with. But this is our session, top 10 ways admins can supercharge their Salesforce ROI. We surveyed our consultants and our customers to find out what tips they would give folks just getting into the world of Salesforce, or folks that have been working at it for a long time, because it's one of those things that I feel like every day I learn something new that if I had known it 5 years ago would have saved me even more time. So give that a watch. I'll throw a link to the session in the video here. But just really cool to see how easy it is for Salesforce to now populate content like that. we don't know how long it'll live. So if you're going to give it a watch, I'd watch it within the next week
Soon.
or so. Yeah.
Now. Today.
Yeah. Do it
right
now.
after this. Right after this.
Yeah.
You're like, bye, Caylin and Chris. I'm going to go watch Chris again.
Yeah. I can't get away from this guy.
Ah, he's everywhere. Seriously, I feel like you're slowly starting to be like everywhere in the ecosystem. Like, this isn't the first time I've seen you like in a picture or something for Salesforce. Like, I know even when I first joined the company, you were like in like a Trailblazer group photo or something for an event, and there was you were in the photo. You're just everywhere. You'll probably see glimpses of Chris at all the Dreamforce to you in person videos that were going around Twitter. I know I recognize some people in there. So
yeah, I should definitely get. Well. I should get like the red and white striped. Well, where's Waldo? Top hat.
Yeah.
Does he wear a top hat or does he wear a beanie?
It's a beanie. It's a beanie.
Okay. Okay. So the striped beanie, I should wear that to Salesforce events from now on, so that when you do see those group shots, you can be like, "Where's Chris? Where is he?"
There, I see him. 10 points.
Yeah. If we did them branded, we could give them out at events, and then it would be like a real Where's Waldo, where it's like you think you found him, but that's not me. That's the imposter Waldos, and you got to find the real one.
Yep. There we go. That's our new brand marketing scheme right there. Dreamforce. Where's Waldo? Dreamforce edition.
It's really easy at Dreamforce to you. I just show up at your office and sit down somewhere in my Waldo outfit.
Right, yeah. And then we recruit you later to join in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to swarm those places, but yeah.
But yeah, all in all, great event. Really cool to see everything sort of come back together like that. Oh, and another like feather in Salesforce's cap was that they used Health Cloud to manage all of those COVID tests and everything. And it was super seamless. You know, they had integrated with the testing company. When your tests came back, you automatically got an email that said, like, here's your QR code, which is your pass for tomorrow, that says you passed and you can get in. So a real like impressive live demonstration for all of us to say, like, if you're going to do stuff in the future and you want to deliver the same functionality to your events, you know how to do it, you know how we did it. So really cool to see that.
Yeah, that is super cool. And especially, like I said, that's a good push, especially seeing it was so successful. Like,
yeah.
They had 5,000 people in San Francisco and 5,000 people at all the other places too, which I'm curious to see how those went in person. I have yet to hear or see about any of that. So that's
I'm not sure that they went forward with that, because I remembered seeing that on the sponsor prospectus that it was going to be like a New York and a London. And I think initially we had wanted to go for one of those global spots to let some people that are, you know, remote and like closer to New York or whatever attend. And I feel like they sent us a revised prospectus a week or two after that said, like, hey, everything is consolidating. San Francisco is going to be the one now. And I think everything else kind of went virtual. But
not
someone from Salesforce can correct me. Yeah.
Not Salesforce Everywhere. Just Salesforce, or excuse me, not Dreamforce Everywhere. Just Dreamforce. Just Dreamforce.
Just
to
Dreamforce.
You, but not really to you. Not really everywhere. But it was supposed to be. Wow. The confusion now. I'm going to go look into this.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll finally be able to go to Dreamforce in person. Let's see though. Right now I'm 2 for 2. 2 for 2 in the no. So watch. They won't next year. They'll have it like in Antarctica or something. They'll really want to spice it up.
Dreamforce to no one. We're broadcasting from deep space. We have launched Astro out of the orbit, and he will be talking to nobody.
There will be nobody in attendance. We are streaming it to all the planets in our solar system, just in case.
Metallica is on Mars, waiting to play.
Right? Oh my God, yeah. No, let's see. I'm very curious. Now with all these slogans, what's next year's slogan? And 2, is it going to be in fall? Is it going to be in winter?
Yeah, because this was the earliest Dreamforce in a long time. Usually it's a November event, and this year it was September.
So watch, it'll be summer. Summer in space.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on this very long video. we had a lot to talk about because Dreamforce is a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot to see, a lot to watch. Hopefully, you guys did get to watch Dreamforce on Salesforce Plus, and let us know in the comments what your favorite sessions were, including ours.
You definitely get brownie points if you say that ours was your favorite.
For sure. Maybe we'll send you some merch. Who knows?
Yeah.
Can I bribe people that way? Maybe.
Who knows?
We got bags. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for joining in, and make sure to like and subscribe to all of our social media channels per usual.
Yep. Find us and then push whatever button is not lit up on the screen.
Yes. Yep. That's the way to go.
Cool. Well, thanks for doing this, Caylin. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.